There are so many people that you've given ambition in their hearts, and that's a blessing from you. And I pray, Father, that you would open up doors of opportunity for this community to grow and thrive economically, spiritually, in every possible way. God, we just want to give you glory for all that is done. We praise you in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Well, thank you. Let me see. I need a lighter picture. Ted Moore?
Yes.
Come lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, would you please?
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Okay, in your package you have the minutes from last month's board meeting, the beer board meeting, and then the special meeting we had. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections? If not, we'll let the minutes stand. You got your financials late. Do y'all feel like approving those, or you want, is that all right? Then I'll need a motion to approve those.
I'll move.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion? If not, Ann, would you call the roll, please?
John Fennison.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Also, you have the department heads reports. Any questions for them at all, or comments? If not, where'd the chief go? There he is. Don't you have a request, chief?
The safety partner grant through TML was opened up again, and I just want to get a okay to apply for it. It's 50/50 grant. I'll match the other 50% out of one of the other grants this year that we'll get. What it is, we're just basically going to keep adding to our rescue tools and stuff that we've got, just enhance it that much more.
Is a $3,000 grant?
Yeah, well, it depends where our workers, all of our insurance together, but it normally runs $3,000.
Okay. Well, I'll need a motion to authorize him to apply for the grant.
So
I got a motion, and you'll do a second? There we go. Any discussion? If not, Ann, would you call the roll, please?
John Fennison.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Well, real quickly, I was gonna, Anthony, if you'll come up here. I don't mean to throw you under the bus, and I think I speak for the whole board. I wanted to recognize Anthony Carr, the fire chief of Selmer, and the whole fire department. June the 13th, there was a tanker truck that caught on fire down at the BP station just down the street. They got the call, and within about, I think if I'm correct, within 3 minutes, we had 4 fire trucks on the scene and 15 firemen. This tanker truck was in, of course, it was in the papers, and you may have read it. I don't really think that everybody really realizes what big of a threat it could have been. The tanker truck was carrying ethanol, and ethanol has a flash point of 62, gas which is 100, but 62 degrees, and that would have exploded, correct? So without the quick response of having a full-time fire department and great volunteers, it really could have been really, really bad. So I extend my hand of gratitude to the fire chief and the whole fire department.
You know, you might recognize him too for saving the utility truck.
Yeah, that was the same week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Richard thanks you for that. Yes, ma'am.
I know in my report I put in there that we had not heard back about the crawfish, but we heard today, we got the okay that our permit is in the mail, and so we'll be able to start. I've already put the call in, and they just finished up a job and said they'll be there within days.
Yeah, I got that call about 2 o'clock. Thank goodness we're done with the crawfish in the Dixie Park, and I think the city park. Thank goodness. Before we get into the meeting of the night, does anyone in the audience want to address the board before we get into business? Paul, I know you have something, don't you, sir? Didn't you want to
Well, one thing I want to recognize Jack Reynolds. Jack and I worked together at State Farm Insurance in the early 1960s. And neither one of us had a pot to whatever you do in it. And Jack moved to Selmer. He's from Savannah. Moved to Selmer probably by 62. And at some point in that, and he was an alderman. And also one of the things that he did for Selmer, he expanded our tax base by incorporating all the beer joints. See, at that time, we were getting a lot of money from beer joints, so Jack was instrumental in that as an alderman. He was also city attorney. He was instrumental in starting the First National Bank. Home banking company moved over here, I think, and Jack's on board. And we all know subdivision and everything, and I think we all, I don't know if we all realize what Jack has done for Selma. You know, I don't know how many, my Walmart, the Y, it's just like, and Jack's done a lot for Selma, and I want to recognize Jack Reynolds. Jack, we thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. Let me add to what Paul said there. We were both working for State Farm and as claim adjusters, and I told Paul, I said, I'm quitting. He said, what you gonna do? I said, I'm going to Selmer practice law. He said, well, I think I will too. That was his exact word. About a week or so after we started here, we was in the office, and here come Paul walking in. I said, Paul, what are you doing down here? And he said, well, I come down here to find me an office. So I guess I'm halfway responsible for Paul.
Thanks a lot, Jack.
I don't know while I'm standing, we bought the old American Boat Company property out here, which we've got a preliminary plat and I was thinking that maybe y'all were gonna vote on a ordinance tonight about the street widths, but apparently that's.
I think that has to come to the planning commission.
I know this will have to come to the planning commission, but we're thankful that y'all are passing the B1 or B and M zoning out there to permit us to maybe get some chain restaurants interested. We've got a couple of people chains that have indicated in the past that they might be interested. So, my interest for coming tonight was concerning the width of the street. And that may already be an ordinance. Jim, did you send me a copy of it?
He's back there.
Tim.
Oh, okay. Did you send me a copy of the ordinance that establishing the width of the street?
Yes, sir.
Has that already been passed?
That's been on the books for like 30 years.
Okay.
It was the one that
The
Phoebe
ordinance
provided
said tonight
to
is changing it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate
Jack,
it.
when you go to the planning commission, next Tuesday night,
Yes.
certainly you address it there, and, I'm thinking if you wanted to narrow that, you probably have to go before the Board of Zoning Appeals, wouldn't you?
I don't think so.
I don't know what he would do about that.
Well, they can tell you, they can tell you, Tuesday night.
Good deal. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Before we get started, John reminded me, and thanks, John. Civil, great job on the 4th. The parade was great.
I couldn't have done it without the fire
Did he do the
department.
fireworks? Well,
Yes,
I tell you
sir.
what, the fireworks were great. I mean, you couldn't find a better show. I had a great seat right behind the middle school in that big yard. It was great, so thank y'all for doing that. I know you had to strong arm a bunch of folks to help with those fireworks, but good job. Okay, let's move into the business. The first item on old business is the second reading of an ordinance amending the text of the Selmer Municipal Zoning Ordinance by establishing a BM, Business and Industrial Districts. I'll need a motion to approve that.
So,
Second.
You got a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Now that's the ordinance that Jack was understood.
part of it.
Well, he's more interested in.
Well, I mean, we got to,
Yeah, this is part of it.
zoning
Yeah.
part, I mean.
Yeah, this
zoning
establishes
part.
the zone, and then we're fixing to put something into it. Any other discussion? If not, Amy, if you'll call the roll.
John Fennessy,
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yeah.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The second item is the second reading of an ordinance amending the official zoning map of Selmer, Tennessee to rezone the herein described properties along the east side of US Highway 45 and south of the Highway 45 bypass from M1, which is industrial, to BM, which is the business industrial districts. So that puts the property in. So I'll need a motion. Got a motion? Got a second? Any discussion? If not, Amy, would you call the roll, please?
John Fennessy.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yeah.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That concludes the old business, so we'll get into new. First item is the approval of a telecom audit group to audit our phone bills for possible refunds. This was Carl last night. Basically, it's an audit of all of the phone bills in the state of Tennessee. I don't believe there's any statute of limitations. The way the deal works, whatever he finds, he gets half, and the way we look at it, we've lost it if we don't go for it. So I'll need a motion to approve that.
Make a motion approved.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion? Any, would you call the roll, please, ma'am?
John Fennessy.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item is the approval of a resolution to guarantee in conjunction with the county the loan to the Industrial Development Board for Midwest building from Monogram. And I had laid a new resolution on, in front of y'all. Basically what it did on the second page, it made sure that it incorporated that it was the county and the city joint in that first sentence up there. So I'll need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, Ann, would you call the roll, please, ma'am?
John Fennessy.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yeah.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Just a minute, let's
Yeah.
go back to that, we need to, that resolution is got a date, we need to date it today. You know, it's got in that resolution, the place where we can date it.
Oh, yeah, I
Date
did
it
today.
today.
Yeah, everything gets dated today.
Yeah.
The next item is the first reading of an ordinance to amend the 2013-2014 budget. That's where I missed the our debt service by $9,000, and the comptroller wants to make sure that we got it in place. So I'll need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
You got a motion?
Second.
You got a second? Any discussion? If not, Ann, would you call the roll, please?
John Fennessy.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yeah.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item is the first reading of an ordinance to amend the official zoning map of Selmer, Tennessee to rezone the parcel 4.04, McNairy County Tax Map 80, south of Tennessee Avenue, from M1 industrial to R1 low density residential. This is the, it's a lot, if you remember on Glover Drive where the old exit ramp was that we took out. It's that, as you go up Glover in Tennessee, it's the corner right there. I think it's, what, 5 acres or something like that? You remember?
I think that's right.
About 5 acres. And somehow it had gotten rolled into industrial, and there's a folks that want to build a house on it, so that's what that is. I'll need a motion to approve that.
Make a motion approved.
You second, Paul?
Yeah.
All right, got a motion and a second, any discussion? If not, any?
John Fennessy.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yeah.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item is the first reading of an ordinance to adopt the 2009 International Gas Code. This, Richard, brings us up to speed, doesn't it? Where do you go? There you go. It gets us in compliance, right?
Right.
I'll need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion? Any, if you'll call the roll, please, ma'am.
John Fennessy.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yeah.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item is the first reading of an ordinance to adopt the 2009 International Mechanical Code. We've been informed that we were out of compliance with the state, and as we discussed last night, the state inspector will do both the plumbing and the mechanical for $100. So I figure it's good we get the first reading done. I need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Got a motion? Second. Any discussion? If not, Amy, would you call the roll, please?
John Fennelly.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item is the first reading of an ordinance to adopt the 2009 International Plumbing Code. Same thing. I'll need a motion.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second? Any discussion? Any, if you'll call the roll, please, ma'am.
John Fennelly.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item is the approval of the Town Planning Advisory Services Agreement. This is our planner that we've had for a number of years, hasn't we?
Mhm.
John?
5 years, I think.
At least 5.
Been with him in that 5 years.
Yeah, we contract through the town of Oakland for his services. So I'll need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any, if you'll call the roll, please.
John Fennelly.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item is the approval of an extension to the solid waste services contract. This actually lowers our tipping fee a little bit and freezes that rate for 2 years, not subject to CPI. So I need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Got a motion? Got a second? Any discussion? Any, if you call the roll, please.
John Fennelly.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And the next item is the approval of the resolution authorizing the issuance of a capital outlay note for $97,500 for 3 new police cars. That was in the budget. Now, I'll see a motion.
So moved.
Got a motion? Second. Got a second? Any discussion? And if you'll call the roll, please, ma'am.
John Fennelly.
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And the last item is our health insurance for the employees. And Mr. Richie Boterford is here, and looks like he's brought us all a nice handout and kind of give us a synopsis of the three plans.
Yep. They're Robinson and Paul and Jack started out in the insurance business there, you know, hope for me yet, right?
Well, there it is, isn't it?
I spent weeks on this. I don't know how in depth you guys want to get on this, but I'll try to take several weeks and sum it up pretty quick. What I've given you is on the first side is a copy of the quotes, okay, which includes where we are right now, okay, and what we're proposing. But let me give you a little history first, where we are and how we got here. In 2010, the city of Selmer was a state plan, and Cigna, it was put out to be the Cigna through my agency, and I'm pleased to be the agent for the city of Selmer at this point. Cigna came in at the best bid. We stayed with Cigna for 2 years. With rate increases, we got a better bid from Blue Cross Blue Shield. This year, Blue Cross Blue Shield, if we make no changes whatsoever, is going to take a 20% rate increase, okay? Very high. It's a lot of money.
It's about $84,000.
That's right, that's right. If we don't do anything, stay where we are right now. Now, let's keep that in perspective. It is very high, and you all should be commended on trying to get better rates. That's what you're spending the city's dollars wisely. But to keep that perspective, it's still cheaper than the state plan. If we did nothing to stay right where we are, the premiums are less than what state plans are, okay? Just to give you kind of an idea of where we are, all right? So, what have we done, okay? The last few weeks, we've looked at every company that I have available, that I'm aware of that's reputable, okay? Coventry, Aetna, Trustmark, United Healthcare, River Valley, Cigna, they all came back higher based on our current plan. So, what do? Well, one of the things that's very popular right now, and a lot of cities are going to, if you look in the right-hand side of your folder, you'll see that these cities are the ones that I know that's close to us, and that probably not all of them, just the ones I'm aware of, that's went with a health reimbursement account, okay? On the right-hand side. The next two pages after that is letters from the city of Baldwin and the city of Dyersburg showing how well it's worked for them. The city of Baldwin, which is the closest one to us out of that list, has been on this plan several years. They had no rate increase this year of this health reimbursement account, and it's worked out real well, worked out real good for them. They've had glowing reviews of it. So, I'll try to make this as understandable as possible. If you'll look at the left-hand side where we are right now, the top three numbers is where our premium is now, plus what we're anticipating we reimburse on the deductibles for the employees to get your number on the third number, okay? Michelle. Right here. This is where we are today, okay? If we go to the health reimbursement account, here's what happens. Now, we proposed and looked at several different things. The mayor and I have talked many times, Blue Cross Blue Shield's come down. We've looked at self-funded, and because of a couple of the conditions on here, the high deductibles that we put on those employees didn't work out premium-wise, okay? We looked at what's called a risk.
Let me ask one question, Richard. Back up where you got the estimated annualized HRA reimbursement, the 15,000 divided by 5 by 12. That 15,000 was that our experience what we had to pay different? That actually is an annual number.
Right. Yeah,
So
we
it would
annualize
actually be a
it.
little less than that.
We annualize it, see, on the far right-hand side. So we take those 5 months and multiply it by 12.
No, what I'm saying, the 15,000 was for a full year.
That's it, that makes it even better. You'll see, they make these rates look better when we talk about the reimbursement, okay? So, anyway, we looked at a risk corridor, Blue Cross Blue Shield. What a risk corridor is they charge you 10% less on your rates than what they anticipated being. If their medical experience and loss ratio works out, you get to keep it, that's great. If it doesn't work out, you have to pay back that 10% plus 10%, it's kind of like a loan. So you get in that situation, you probably wind up back where we were in the first place. So we looked at the health reimbursement account several different ways. We looked, there's 1,000 different ways to look at it, but what we proposed is to try to come as close as we can to the current coverages that the employees got, but also give the city a chance to save some money, possible, okay? So you can go with an 80-20 plan or a 70-30 plan. Now, what I mean by that is currently the city employees have a $1,250 deductible before the city kicks in anything. They also have doctor's office visit copays, okay? And also drug copays. So what we propose is to take away the doctor's office visit copay that you're currently have to pay and go straight to a deductible. But instead of having to come up with $1,250, the first $1,250, let the city reimburse 80% first dollar and the employee come up with 20%. So how does that work? Well, let's say you go to a doctor, okay, and the doctor bills $200. Okay, if you take the 80-20 plan, the employee would pay $40 right there at the doctor. It would be applied towards the deductible and walk out. Okay, so that's going towards deductible instead of a copay that's just wasted not going towards deductible. If you did the 70-30 plan, it'd be $60 on a $200 bill. Okay. If you did the 80-20 plan, and here's what I think is important. Right now, where the employees are, their maximum out of pocket, not counting doctor's office copays, their max that could be is $2,250. Okay, so they meet your deductible and they meet your co-insurance, they'd be at $2,250. With this 80-20 plan, their max would be $2,000 if they met their max, and no doctor's office copays. Okay. Also, what we've done is, and a lot of people have had problems with the drug card because you have $200 deductible on the drug card for high drugs, basically expensive drugs. We've done away with that to benefit the employee. All right. Now, on the 80-20 plan, now here's what's important. I want everybody to listen because I want to make sure that no one thinks we'll run from any of these numbers on full disclosure here. Okay. If you look at where Dyer County's average is 20%. Okay, that's where they currently are. If we had 20% reimbursement of the city employees' deductibles, we would be $11,000 less than we are currently this year. That's if we had 20% utilization. If we had 30%, which is the municipal average in the state of West Tennessee, that's what the average is, okay? We'd be over $40,000 where we are right now, but we still save $43,000 from where we would have been if we didn't do anything to get the increase. Now, you'll see down there in bold black letters underlined that I have put, your actual utilization and your reimbursement could be higher. It could be all of it. It could be the max of $486,000 if we had Armageddon and we had the bird flu and it wiped out every employee in the city of Selmer. Now, is that likely to happen? No. Could it happen? Yeah, it could. But it also could happen for every one of these cities that we've listed. They took the same risk, depending upon the deductible and stuff that they chose. Everyone's taking the same risk, okay? If you do 70% instead of 80% plan, the employees will be a little bit more out of pocket. It will cost them more, okay? Right now, the maximum out of pocket, not counting doctor's office co-pays, if you did the 70% plan, would be $2,750. All right? And right now, it's $2,250. But they wouldn't have the doctor's office co-pays. But what that would do is it would lessen the burden on the city on reimbursement. So, you take the same numbers, if it's 20%, which is what Dyer County's average is, we'd be $20,000 less than what we are right now. If it was 30%, it would be over $20,000. It's just what you guys want to go, what you want to look at on that.
Richie, what's been your experience with, you said Boulder's been there a pretty good while.
Yeah.
What's their average?
Well, they have 0 rate increase this year, so, I mean, it's gonna be less utilization than 30% they'd had, obviously, a bigger rate increase. I can tell you exactly.
Paris, Humboldt, Trenton, are they all, where are they?
That's the average, is 30% of all of them combined.
Of these right here?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
One question that I've got on the deductible. The way we're set up now, the employee takes the first $1,250.
That's right.
Okay, and certainly we pick up the rest of it.
That's right.
How do we ensure that $1,250 stays there? Because, I mean, it's really impacted utilization, I guess. I mean, they think more about it before they run to the emergency room or whatever, if they know they've got to.
Well, I mean, we just have to educate the employees that your maximum out of pocket on the deductible is $1,250, and then your maximum out of pocket with co-insurance will put you at $2,000. But how you would keep up with it, that's what you're asking is Blue Cross Blue Shield will send you a monthly report showing where everybody is on their deductible today. Okay? So David Robinson goes to the doctor or hospital, whatever, next month, you get that EOB report, and you know what you've done on that deductible, so you then know what to start reimbursing as the city for the employer. Of course, it's 80-20. I mean, their maximum is going to be $1,250 anyway, but it's just or 70-30.
Well, I guess my point is, if it's 80-20 on the front end, then how do we ensure that they pay the first $1,250 over the 4 years?
We can
See
do
what
that.
I'm saying?
We can do that. We can back it out and change it to where it's 80-20, but they have to pay the first $1,250 before we start kicking it in. The reason why we did this plan is, again, try to get it close to where we are right now with the opportunity to save some money. If we were going to do away with the doctor's office co-pays, we thought that an 80-20 plan, you go to the doctor, it's $100, you get a $20 co-pay, basically. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I understand that.
If you decide that because of the
Can we still do that, but make sure that they do the first $1,250?
we sure can.
Okay. Any one effective rate?
It might actually make them a little bit less, maybe.
And most people, most of the towns doing option 1 or option 2.
It's all over the board, Paul. It's all over the board. Everybody chooses their own co-pays and their own deductibles. It could be $5,000, and if you look, what we've chose right here is that the reimbursement for the city on the 80-20 would be $6,000, and on the 70-30 would be $5,250. Baldwin, I think, reimburses, don't hold me to it, I think it's $5,000. Okay, but it's all over the board. Everyone has a different one.
One of the main things that I've got concern with is what would happen to the employees. Is there any change right now for the employees?
Well, depending on how you set this plan up, if we do first dollar, for the vast majority of the employees, it would be a better plan. It'd be a better plan. There'd be no way around it not being a better plan, because not a lot of people, you know, you have a certain amount of people that use their insurance. And the other ones that just go to the doctor and, you know, get a checkup, it's $100, they pay $20, they're done. So, now, would there be 10 or 15 employees out of the 80 that might fall into a situation where there's more out of pocket on the front end? Sure. But if you reverse it and stay where we are, those other, it may be 10 or 15 employees that on the other end that has more out of pocket up front. There's no way to make it perfect for everybody, no matter what plan you put in. But overall, the plan will be better. Now, if we do the $1,250 out of pocket before any of the stuff start kicking in, here's where you're at. You're out $1,250, but you don't have any co-pays. So your first $1,250 comes out of your pocket no matter what. Okay, whether you go to the doctor or you go to the hospital.
Of course, now the co-pays that they're under doesn't get the
Don't
benefit
apply
at all,
to the
so they would at least get the benefit of
But
that.
again, some people would be better off, because now the what they're doing at the doctor's office would apply to the deductible, which it doesn't now, it's just wasted copays. Right down though that I said, there's a few people it might affect adversely, but for the vast majority, it would be better coverage.
Okay, we'll accept this plan, when do we decide, or who decides if you do option one or option two?
That'd be for you guys to decide right now. I can do whatever plan. You know, let me point out, again, the reason why we even mention these plans, and then the mayor got to see a bunch of other plans. This got us as close to where we are, coverage-wise, with the ability, the hopefulness of being able to save some money, okay? If you go down, lower on your deductibles and you're lowering your copays, what happens is the premium rises back up to about basically where you are right now. So why make any changes, okay? This is as close as we can get to saving money, hopefully, and having better coverage for the employees. And, you know, it's incumbent upon y'all to choose which plan you think is best.
Richard, let me ask you a question, in an attempt maybe not to put these guys under the gun tonight. Our, renewal date is August 1st, is that correct? Anytime prior to August 1st, we can make this decision?
Yeah, you want to make it as close as you can with the new cards can come out with the new benefits.
Right.
So
Mr. Mayor?
we'll give them about a week or so.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that we, extend our contract with Richie, with Blue Cross Blue Shield, the 80-20 plan. The 80-20 plan,
How do you gonna do the deductible?
wherever Mr. DePaul thinks.
Well, I mean, I would really prefer you guys to make a decision because it's gonna affect, like I said, some people worse than others. It's gonna be $12.50 either way. It's just a matter of, does the employee want to get the first $12.50 for accountability's sake? In other words, not just to run to the doctor every time, or we want to give them 80-20 first dollar because we're taking away these copays.
Let me just throw this idea on the table to you guys. Since
Now, we have a motion, I'm gonna second it, then we can discuss it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
I second that motion, okay.
What I was saying, you know, we've got time, because they can get the cards out in about a week, and then we have a scheduled, alternate work session. If you guys want to think about this first and get with Richie a little bit more so you understand it, and then we can nail it down at that if you want to. And I'm just throwing that out as a suggestion.
How many employees we got covered?
76.
Should we let the employee have some decision-making process in this? As an employee pool?
I don't understand the question.
Hey, can I ask you a question? On this one this one that does not include the 20 people.
Have it quoted right now, I can, look, of course, it may not make any difference whatsoever, but it might make it just a little bit cheaper premium wise. So how it's quoted right now is 80-20 first dollar. You go to the doctor, city pays 80%, you pay 20%, and you get $12.50 on your maximum out of pocket. That's how it is quoted right now. Now, I can change those quotes, I can't tell you exactly off the top of my head what it would do to the premium. It wouldn't affect it much either way, but it's possible it can make $1 or $2 per employee cheaper.
I'll leave my motion as it stands
Okay.
with, option one.
The 80-20, and you seconded that, Paul. Any discussion at all, guys?
So how are we gonna do the copay?
First dollar, not first dollar,
That's the choices we got.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna, we're excluding the first 1250, is that what your motion
Yes.
does?
It's option one.
Okay.
And with that, what is the maximum out-of-pocket for the employee?
The maximum out of pocket, if you go with 80-20, option one that you were just talking about, is $2,000. And that's also without doctor's office copays that you're incurring now. Currently, you've got doctor's office copay, and your max out of pocket, if you use it, is $22.50. It's a better deal for the employee, okay? Now, it incurs more responsibility on the city, more reimbursement responsibility. And not to muddy the waters whatsoever, because it's the last thing we want to do. But I think it's fair that I say this. There is still a couple of self-funded quotes that I've been working on, that I'm on their time frame, and they have not got back to me. Based on everybody that I've talked to and what I've looked at, do I am I confident it would be any better than this? I'm not. There is that possibility, you know, and I mean, they may come back and be.
We can always do this, and then if we need to change midstream, we can do that, can we not?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's better for employees, I think that's good, so we need to take care of employees. See what they call city anymore.
We've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? And then I guess call the roll.
John Fenton,
Yes.
Paul Simpson.
Yes.
Edward Smith.
Yes.
John Smith.
Yes.
Chris Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And that concludes the business of the evening. Before we
I'm gonna
close,
just tell more about the name.
did you want to address this illustrious
We got a
this? He was here to make sure we got that guarantee passed.
I want to say something, simple. Thanks for the Bill Webb, ceremony, the other week at the park. I mean, out there for it. That was fantastic. You did a good job with that.
Thank you.
I think Bill really enjoyed that.
He did,
It
he
was
did.
nice to see them both.
Before we shut down, anybody want to throw rocks at us or tomatoes or say what a great job? Uncle John, you got anything to say? All right, then we'll adjourn. Thank y'all for coming.